So, Life is Strange. Yes, John, it certainly is, but why are you telling me this? No, Life is Strange. Life is Strange double exposure, which means we'll probably be getting a Max story because, she was the photographer and double exposure. So it's kind of like a double thing for Max now because she's getting like her own little story again, but also pictures when pictures are double exposed. It's play on words. Um, which people have wanted for a while. We see Life is Strange, the first Life is Strange, which follows Max. She's got this power to rewind time, and she saves her friend Chloe over and over and over and over, even though Chloe was kind of meant to die in the bathroom at the hands of Nathan after being shot. And because she kind of interferes, there's like this big old freaking storm coming to Arcadia Bay, the place where they live. And at the end of the game, you have two choices. You can either save Chloe and just let Arcadia Bay just be destroyed by the oncoming storm, or you can save Arcadia Bay and everyone in it by sacrificing Chloe by going back in time and allowing her to play out. There's also a third option, which I think, if I remember, there's like a prerequisite type thing where you have to make certain choices throughout the game, but it's basically where you save both of them. You save both Arcadia Bay and Chloe. You know, so it's one of those things. If you want to find it, you can just go online and see all the choices you have to make and this and that. Um, if I remember, there's like little items you find throughout. Um, I played through it, but when I played, I just was a normal. I just played through it. I didn't worry about the whole saving both. I just like, okay, well, Chloe, you have to die. Sorry, sorry. There's just think of Pompidou. Think of your mom. Your mom's a fine lady. She's a hardworking lady right there. I'm not gonna let her die. So sorry, Chloe, you have to die. Um, but then Life is Strange Before the Storm comes out, which is more of the story of Chloe and Rachel. Um, really good moments in that game. I believe the first game, huge moments with reveal of Amber, Rachel Amber, which not really reveal because we never see her. But very emotional. The big bad of that, and all that. Frank and Pompidou. The Pompidou is this dog that is in there. Um, Chloe's parents or mom and step douche. Um, but yeah, before the storm is more focusing on Chloe and Rachel's relationship and um few great scenes, moments there. One of them, uh, you know, there are these two girls together, and there's clearly something between them, and you're sitting there, just do it, just do it, just mwah, mwah, something, do something, and then the moment finally happens, and you're like, oh God, I feel this whole, just all this burden has just been lifted. I feel so much better now. You finally did what we've been wanting you to do this entire time. Also another great moment. People say it's cheesy or whatever, but the moment with Rachel and the forest, even though like, oh my God, she's burning down a forest, but it's emotional. The moments like that, they're really they're let loose and they're really able to shine. In their performances. Other than that, the dialogue in these games are pretty. They're just sort of like this. Yeah, I did this and then I did that, and yeah, they're just so boring. But the emotional parts are really, really good. And then there was a third game with the kid with the superpowers, and it was just a reason to hate on Americans and white people, and because the whole time they're like, oh yeah, Mexicans, and I think they were talking about the current president in charge, and oh gee, I wonder who they're talking about. And then the next game was like fucking empathy or something. But we have Life is Strange, double exposure, most likely Max. So let's see how they massacred our girl.
I swore I'd never use my power again.
I'm sorry. Let me
swore
Dun 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 dun
I'd
dun
never
dun.
use my power again.
Anyone else got Harry Potter vibes? Like you see, like an owl and this mysterious, old-looking building. It looks like fucking Hogwarts and shit.
But 2 nights ago, I found my friend's body in the woods. I don't know who I can trust, or who trusts me. But my friend Safi is dead. So why can I still hear her voice? Focusing my power.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to stop right there for a second. So why am I still hearing her voice? Did you completely forget about the freaking ghostly specter deer that was following you around and showing you things? Did you just forget about that? I mean, it wasn't talking to you, but it's kind of presumed that it was Rachel kind of helping you find her. And I was like, why am I still hearing her voice? Because you have superpowers, Max. Why else would you be hearing these voices? You've seen ghostly, spectral deer. You're hearing voices. You have the power to rewind time. You think hearing voices is the strangest? That's seriously the strangest? Life is strange. But she's questioning things. You were able to save your friend, 8 times by rewinding time, and hearing voices is what gets you concerned? What?
I somehow shifted into a parallel timeline. Here, Sophie is still alive. The danger stalks our every step. And only I can investigate both realities.
Hang on. Parallel world?
It's the same as this one, except you're dead. I can still save Sophie. If I can solve and prevent the same murder across 2 timelines.
A new Max Caulfield adventure with a new Max Caulfield. So I think so we saw it looked like what looked like was Nathan. Nathan was kind of a big bad in the first one. Nathan was essentially the one who shot Chloe in the beginning. But then we kind of find that he's just kind of being used. Well, he still did something bad, but he was also being used by the true big bad of the game. Obviously not going to give it away, but I mean, the games are not that old, so you can easily go on Steam. I buy them for a couple bucks, I think now, and yeah. But I swear the one girl that looked like freaking Rachel at first, but even this point, even if there was an alternate universe to where Rachel's somehow alive still. I don't know why she'd be there, because I think this is wherever she moved to, because she was in Arcadia Bay and then her family moved. So this is probably, we clearly see she's older. Looks like a college type setting, so she might have moved again. But wasn't Sophie, if I remember, one of her friends in the original game? Same thing with the chick from the colors or whatever. I think that was one of her friends too, or someone in the same circle. Arcadia Bay is just filled with people with supernatural powers. People seem to think that Rachel had powers, but the shit that she was displaying, she kicks over the thing of fire, the thing with the fire, and it just spreads a little bit, and then she screams, and this big gust of wind just picks up, and it's like, oh gee, maybe it's just coincidence. But then she screams again, and another huge gust of wind just keeps getting that fire going. So people are like, maybe that's her power. Maybe that's what she can do. Because it's too convenient that she screams and suddenly this huge burst of wind just comes, and then she screams the second time, not too long after the first one, but good enough time in between. She screams again, and another burst of air. So people are like, oh, it's just symbolic, and this and that. It's like, no, maybe in this place where people can rewind freaking time, maybe Rachel has a power that we didn't know. She also seemed to be very alluring to everyone. Like everyone loved her. So maybe that was also maybe a part of it, but maybe that was also a power. We don't know because we didn't really get a whole lot of time with the character. But yeah, Arcadia Bay just it's filled with people with powers, empathy, and time rewinding and stuff like that. So here she is questioning a fucking voice that she's hearing. You're seeing ghost deer rewinding time, and you're questioning a few voices, which she's also lived in the game. You do live through multiple kind of realities. You're a reality where Chloe is like bedbound and kind of like slowly dying and stuff like that. So she kind of experiences the same like parallel alternate universe type thing. But yeah, that does look kind of like Rachel, but I don't think it is, because even this timeline, I don't think she also has a rupee. She has a blue rupee. She's got a bloopy on her arm. Zelda fan. Nice. Double Exposure. October 29th. Pre-order now and get a skin for your camera. So instead of this, you'll have something different. But yeah. Just the fact that she's questioning the voices she's hearing. The fact that she's awesome enough to go to freaking Hogwarts. But yeah, the game's really, the first game, so Life is Strange is really good. Before the Storm was really good. I didn't play the third one. I watched who was it? I can't remember who I watched play it. But I remember the game was when they weren't talking about how cops and everyone are profiling, immigrants and Mexicans and this and that. Oh, the current presidents. Gee, I wonder who they're talking about. It was good enough. The fourth game, never watched anyone play it. Never watched anything about it. Didn't play myself, so I wouldn't know. I just know it's dealing with empathy and shit, so. But here we are, back with Max. Max, and hopefully we have some flashbacks of Chloe and her time in Arcadia Bay. But I seriously hope that, you can hear the way they're talking for the most part, and that's how it's very just like bland. The emotional parts do get to kind of highlight and show what these actresses are capable of, but most of the time you're sitting there, it's like, oh my God, this is so boring. This is so boring. Like, people, if this is trying to feel real, people in real life with real conversations have more feeling in their voice than they do here. And that's the one gripe I have about the game. It's just the dialogue is so boring. They talk so slow most of the time, and there's like no feeling in their voice, that it's just like, what? Okay. Can we just like, okay, skip. Oh, emotional part. Okay, I'm gonna actually watch this. Wow, that was really good. Oh, great, we're back to talking. Skip. Okay, go walk over there. More talking. Great. I'm gonna sit here for another 30 minutes, listen to them slow talk. But it's a good game. Rewinding time, and the fact that it's a mystery, then again, Life is Strange was kind of like that, where not only are you rewinding time to save Chloe numerous times, but you're also trying to find Rachel in the same time. And then you finally find out what happens to her, and yeah. So it is kind of a mystery using her powers, to, using her powers to solve this mystery, this crime. And here she's just like, I'm coming out of retirement, guys. The cosmos has once again called upon me. And I think I'd be doing a great disservice if I didn't answer the call. I can rewind time, but man, where are these voices coming from? Hey, look, did anyone notice that spectral deer over there? Ah, the voices. Make it make sense. I mean, come on. Come on, Max. You shouldn't blame Max. She's the product of the creators and the producers and all that and the team. You guys saw it. Rewinding time and Ghost Deer were fine, but somehow Chloe hearing voices is, or not Chloe, but Max hearing voices is too far there. That's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, Life is Strange. If you haven't played it, I recommend playing it. Same thing with Before the Storm. Yeah, apart from the mundane kind of monotone voices they have most of the time, the story's pretty good. The emotional scenes when they, when they're, like I said, when they get to let loose and actually, their vocal chops, and get to flex those, it's really good. Like I said, with the scene with Rachel and Chloe in the forest and Rachel's scream, I mean, it hurts. That shit fucking hurts. Like, emotionally, that hurts because it's so good. Chloe's face, how she's reacting to it, it's good. When they get to do stuff like that and just really push it, it's good. But yeah, hopefully this is, even though Max looks, obviously she's a bit older, a bit wiser. No, you know what? No, she's not wiser, because she learned the first time what interfering with time and all this does. She started using the time power too much. She started getting nosebleeds all the time. She knows what can happen. Now she's like, oh, I'm not just going to rewind time. I'm going to just constantly step in alternate parallel universe realities and try to save my friend. Did you not learn anything from Chloe? What happened? What happened? You had a choice. Save Chloe or save the town. Save the town due to a storm that you caused. So here she is, not saying, oh, I said I would never use my powers again, but here she is using her powers for the very same thing that got her into trouble the first time. Make it make sense. I hate characters like this sometimes. I think of it like, one of the characters I think of is Sabrina, from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. You have Sabrina at the end of the series. Who knows what happens when they don't listen to other people, when they do certain things. So in the final season, you have the heaven realm, the earth realm, and the infernal realm all trying to like crush each other because there's two Sabrinas. There's two Sabrinas existing simultaneously at the same time, which shouldn't happen, which creates a paradox, which is now forcing everything to kind of snuff out that paradox to kind of restore balance. And they send Sabrina to a parallel universe, dimension, whatever, and she lands in the endless, which is like an Eldritch Terror type thing, and the cosmic is coming by to basically devour it, and she's like, I need to save as many people as possible. It's like, bitch, you're here in the first place because there's two of you. Now, what happens when you have all these people here, these people who, already exist in the other universe? What happens when there's two Ann Hildas, two Ann Zeldas, two Harveys, two Nicks, two Rosas? What do you think's going to happen? Look at what's happening because there's two Sabrinas. What do you think when you add... And yet she's like, I gotta save as many people. Bitch, no! Let them fucking die. Fuck! And it just pissed me off. I was about to say pissing me off, but then I tried to say, so it's pissed. But it's like Max, right here. It's like, I know the trouble that my powers can cause, because every time I saved Chloe, my nose started to bleed more, and it was harder to control, and my freaking power use started causing a huge freaking storm. But let me do it again, because it'll totally work out better the second time. I mean, this is why maybe a Max story isn't that great, because she's doing the very thing that caused all the trouble in the first game. So if there's no repercussions to this, and if this tiny little Hogwarts doesn't get freaking destroyed by a big fucking tornado, I'm gonna be disappointed, because there needs to be repercussions to her actions. That's what happened the first time, where she had to make the choice, or somehow save both. If you do everything that you're supposed to, the prerequisite, and oh, this choice and that, but save Chloe, save Arcadia Bay. You can save everyone by going back and allowing Chloe to be shot, thus restoring what was meant to happen. Or you can just let the storm go through and kill all the other innocent people. So if there's no storm in this, if nothing happens, it'll just kind of show that everything that happened in the first game meant nothing. It meant nothing, because the whole point was like, oh, I'm overusing my powers, and all of this started because of me, because I saved you. So here she's doing it again, tearing into other universes and other, so you've got a chance here, guys. You've created a game, so there better be some repercussions at the end. Otherwise, that first game meant nothing. Anyway, let me know what you thought of the game if you've played it. I guess, what's one of your favorite moments or greatest moments in your opinion in that game? For any of the games, really. Even though I'm not really fond of the other two, the third one and the one about fucking feelings. But yeah, just let me know. Yeah, that should be it. But that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.